in the internationally successful period drama Downton Abbey. More recently, though, he stepped away from his stately surroundings to play the bad guy in his latest film, In Fear. Would you welcome, please, Mr. Alan Leech, ladies and gentlemen? So funny. All the nerdy girls in the audience are like, oh, I love him. That's great.
Don't call them nerdy girls.
No, that's a compliment.
Oh, right.
Oh, God, in my world.
Is it?
In my world. Welcome. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
I went to see a new movie during the week, In Fear, and when you emerged, because it takes you a while before we get to you.
Yeah.
And when eventually you get there, I was kind of half expecting you to have a silver tray and a ladle or something. But there you are in puffer jacket with the rough accent and blood coming down your face. That's a big leap, Alan.
It was, very different from what I'm used to. Yeah, and what people are used to seeing me in. But that kind of is what's so exciting about the business. The fact that you can go from something like Downton Abbey and then find yourself, as you say, covered in blood and scaring the life out of two other people. Yeah,
it's just the three of you, isn't it? The cast?
Yeah, it's a very contained cast. Yeah. Very different again from Downton. You know, ensemble cast of 22 and then, you know, a very small low-budget movie with three of us.
Three of you.
That was all of us. Yeah.
And it's you essentially scaring the bejesus out of two people who think they're trying to find a hotel somewhere in Ireland, which wouldn't be untypical or atypical because they're just driving around in circles because the signs are all wrong.
The signs have all been changed and turned around.
Yeah.
Yeah, the premise is a young couple coming over, as you say, to go to a music concert, and suddenly a guy starts messing with their heads, messing with signs. They start running out of petrol, it gets very dark, and then their story starts getting very dark. Yeah. Basically, I've done nothing for the Irish Tourism Board.
No. On the contrary.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I was trying to figure out, though, is going to go, OK, how do I tell people about this? Is it a horror? Is it a thriller? Is it a psychological drama? I couldn't quite figure out where it fits.
Psychological thriller, apparently, is how it's going.
That's the
with
official.
A hint of horror. Yeah.
A soup song.
But it's what appealed to me about the project was the director said, I want to go back to basics and what psychological thrillers are about. Yeah. You know, instead of, guts and gore, he wants to get back into the mind and playing with the mind.
What you don't see.
Exactly.
As much as
but it's what I find really exciting about horror movies and psychological thrillers is the unknown. Yeah. And this movie deals with the unknown and fear and darkness.
Well, let's have a little clip from In Fear. Have a look at this.
You need a doctor.
Don't worry about me. I'm sure the car took the most of it.
Did you see who attacked you?
I'm not quite sure, I'll be honest. Could be a group of guys. They drink up the local pub. They're not right in the head. I mean, I don't understand what's going on. I'm Max, by the way. Sorry, I didn't catch your names.
Very like most taxi journeys that I've taken in my life in Dublin.
Yeah, not dissimilar. Back to Downton Abbey then. We've spoken briefly about Downton Abbey before, and just to remind people, you were only meant to be in it for three episodes. Yeah. So what happened? Why are you still there? I mean, and I said that with great enthusiasm.
It's a good question. I think Julian enjoyed the character.
Julian Fellowes, the creator.
Who's the creator of the show and the executive producer. I think he always saw Branson as a character who could show the change that the time was going through. And as a symbol of change, I think his role has grown and grown and grown. And the reason for that is the fact that he's been a victim of circumstance. I genuinely thought that my part was going to be done when Sybil, who Branson marries, kicked the bucket. I thought, well, that's me. Next job. But thankfully, Julian saw it actually as a challenge for the character and for him writing to keep him in it and try and, develop that character and show his struggle now without his wife, the only person who really understood him, living in this house. You know, he has a job, but he has no status.
And also, he's an Irishman in among the elite establishment of Britain.
Yeah.
Because when I saw you first in it, and it was all very, I shall have my muffins in the parlour, and then you came along and go, Jesus. Like,
what's a muffin?
Here, we'll have a look at you in Downton, because I want to ask you lots of questions about it. Have a look at this.
Lord Grantham thinks his duty is to protect Mary and her son by managing everything himself.
And he won't listen to you on the subject.
He sees her as a little woman who shouldn't be troubled by anything so harsh as reality.
And even were I to agree with you, how could I help?
Give her advice. She'd take it from you.
What makes you say that?
Because she knows you only want the best for her.
Now, The rules in show business say never work with children and animals. You fail both tests in terms of you know, not saying no to this. So you've said yes to both.
Yeah.
You're a dad in the current series, obviously. And how are you coping with partial parenthood?
Well, it's the best type of parenthood, because the minute it cries, you go, real mother. There you go. Yeah. Take it back, and I'll have it back when it's, you know, soothed. Washed, dried, you know, and slept.
Please don't think that's what it's like in real life. It's not.
Oh, yeah. I've seen the backstage. Yeah, my sister had a little girl only recently. So
congratulations.
I've seen the other side.
You know what it's
but
like.
I do exactly the same thing. I go, there you go, Ellie. It's crying again.
I'm gone. So tell me then about the dog, because is he a Labrador?
Technically a Labrador, yeah. I mean, it's the stupidest dog in Christendom.
Really?
Genuinely, yeah. And I don't know why it has a job. It will not sit where it's supposed to. It's a treat whore. That's actually what it is. It just will do anything for a treat. But if you don't have treats and you run out and you're in a scene and you're halfway through a scene that's normally about 4 minutes long, and suddenly this dog will get up, sniff your crotch and leave. And you go, that's brilliant. And Maggie Smith goes, can you not control him? No, I can't, Maggie, I'm sorry. We'll do it again, so. Sit it down again, and the trainer's there. Stay. Good dog. What's good about it? What's good? It's going to be gone in 2 seconds. And again, you start the scene, sniff your crotch and go.
Oh, God. And a treat. What are the treats you're just giving him?
They are tiny little biscuit treats.
But the dog's useless.
Useless. So myself and Hugh Bonneville, who plays Lord Grantham, have a plan next year to buy a dog and train it ourselves. It'll be cheaper. We'll take the money, you know, spend it on hats.
So are you going to get it together with Lady Mary, or is that just a ruse?
I think Lady Mary, if you watch the show, you'll know that Lady Mary hated Branson when he first arrived on the scene.
With quite a passion.
So, yeah, I would doubt it. They've become quite close friends, given the fact that they've both gone through exactly the same thing. They both lost their partners. They both have a small child. So there's a mutual respect.
And the British upper classes have a habit of marrying each other anyway.
They do, yeah. Yeah, and we read loads of stories of the fact that that did happen. Like, oh, she died. Well, you'll do. You know,
that's what we all thought. That's where it was going.
Yeah, imagine. Branson. Oh, she was brilliant. How's it going? Good to see you. Oh, you're sad too.
Yeah, and that's at the funeral.
Exactly. Yeah. You look great in black.
It's your colour.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that's going to happen. They have a mutual respect as friends, but I think that's probably as far as it's going to go.
She's also a bit of bad luck about her, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like,
well, we have a term at work.
What is it?
Just the death frou-frou. Because anyone who goes in there doesn't last very long.
Go on, who's been...
The Turk.
The Turk died as soon as he had a...
Well, he was still there, wasn't
shenanigan.
He? But,
he was.
And then Matthew, because he was such a good soul, lasted a couple of months, but then gone.
And then...
Yeah.
Well, is the son still alive?
Well, that's the thing. So he's obviously the omen. The show's going to be very different next year. Very different.
I want to watch your version of it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just
I'll pitch it to Julia next time.
And see how he gets on about it.
If I still have a job. Probably not after this.
No, because there's also that lovely sort of stiff upper lip, simmering frisson between Carson and Mrs. Hughes.
Yeah.
You kind of wonder, is that she's kind of like...
I think that should be the first sex scene in Downton. Full-on sex scene.
Brilliant.
It'd be incredible. It'd be slow. It'd be incrable, though.
It would be slow. And it'd be very polite.
Very polite.
Would you mind if I...
Did you get my letter?
Did you? That could go on forever.
Yeah, it could.
Great. Just like a spin-off series, like
absolutely.
Tantric Downton.
Yeah, Downton After Dark. Don't. They'll probably make it. This is the problem.
It's probably
I'll be back here talking about it and saying, you know, really delighted. It was a good career move.
Starring Sting in a tux. What are we going to do about how do you cope with those scenes because say the filming is quite lengthy. I mean, June Brown was saying earlier on she loved the monologue because she could just do it in her own way. She had other actors to wreck it. So is there a lot of time? Are you bored a lot of the time?
Any of those dinner sces that we film are 11 to 14 hours.
Oh, crikey.
Yeah, for one scene.
Is that just the dinner or the filming?
That's the film. That's why you'll notice in Downton we're experts at pushing food around plates.
But how boring is that?
It can be really, well. It's kind of, you're there for the other actors as well. So that's the great thing about Downton. It really is a family. So if Maggie's on, Maggie will do her bit, you know, a 2-shot or then her single. But she'll be there as much for you when she turns around, and it'll be 14 hours later.
So what is she doing to kind of distract you?
Bananagrams. Have you heard about this game?
No.
Bananagrams is like Scrabble, and you all get 9 letters, and then you have to make words. And as soon as you can make your words, then you grab another one. And you grab another letter, you keep grabbing them until you're all finished. And she is a genius at it.
So you're playing bananagrams during the dinner?
Yeah, or Wink Murder is our other favourite one.
What's that?
Wink Murder is in the pepper pots that sit on the table. You all have a little piece of paper, and one of them has an X on it. So you swap them round, and then whoever has the X, you sit there at the table and you wink, and then you're the murderer. So you just go... and then you have to do a big elaborate death. You die, and then you have to. The other people who are still alive try and figure out who it is.
These are the DVD extras we need to see more
Yeah, really
of.
good. But it's to stop us from going mad, looking at the same piece of fish for 14 hours.
14 hours. Is your mum a big fan of the show?
She is. Yeah.
And are you allowed to give her a sneak preview over dinner on a Sunday, or does she hassle you for it?
For the first 3 years, she would hassle me every week.
Really?
Yeah. What happens? What happens? What happens? She's stopped that because I just can't tell her anything because I can't trust her.
Yeah.
And it's not so much my mom, actually, it's my dad who's unbelievable. And during season 3, I fed him a load of lies of what happened. And he rang me at the last episode and went, none of that stuff happened. Matthew never went blind. And I've told loads of people. That's exactly why I liked it.
That's the point.
And he's like, okay.
But it's so funny because Downton has cracked the United States. You're getting massive viewing figures over there. And it's even featuring, let's have a look at Iron Man 3. Just in the background, you're there. Look at this. This is great.
Hi. Mind living there?
Sure.
Sunday nights PBS, Downton Abbey. That's a show. He thinks it's elegant. One more thing, make sure everyone wears their badges. He's a stickler for that sort of thing. Plus, my guys won't let him win it.
That's great. So
I first heard about that on Twitter. People said, loved you in Iron Man 3. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then people said, loved your cameo. And just found out that Jon Favreau's a huge fan of the show.
Is that it?
And he said that what he liked about it was the fact that his relationship with Pepper Potts in Iron Man, he's madly in love with her, but she's a different class. He can't get her. So it represents how he feels, and that's why he likes that story.
So your CV now, I was also in Iron Man 3.
I'd love that. I wouldn't mind a check for it, actually.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Never received a check, yeah.
You must be getting a huge mailbag full of women.
Mailbag full of women?
I hadn't finished the sentence.
Ryan's life, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan's life.
Are you saying you haven't seen Silence of the Lambs? No. You must get...
Open it. Hello, good morning.
Just their heads.
Coffee?
You must get... I hadn't finished that. Full of women asking you to be their other half. I mean, do you
get some funny fan mail, yeah. The best thing ever has been half a purple bra. Just the left cup. I can only assume she either was being thrifty and wanted to send a bra to 2 people. I just said, he's only worth half. Or I'm supposed to, like a locket, try and, I'm searching out a half-supported woman, So if you find me looking at your chest, that's probably why.
Or it was Barney. Now, do you have a girlfriend?
I do, yes, yeah.
Oh, for God's
I do.
sake. Look at that.
That's the end of that set of
You just
questions.
lost the room. Listen, it's great success, and it's a real pleasure having you on the show.
Lovely to see you.
And do come up. I bring a mailbag full of girls next time you're on. Alan Leech, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks. We need a beer. Yeah. Okay. In Fear is the name of Alan's new movie, and it goes on general release today. Right, on to my next guest. In an age where many